Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contracts, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Dr. Apoorv Ranjan Sharma on the line, and he's co-founder over at Venture Catalyst and 9 Unicorns. Dr. Apoorv, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so welcome to the show, and I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about how you're working on advancing India's startup ecosystems, which you have a lot of experience with. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit more about Venture Catalyst and 9 Unicorns. Tell us a little bit more about your companies, please.
Okay, so thanks. So Venture Catalyst, it all started in 2016, January. We thought of educating a lot of people to come in mainstream of investing in startups in India. 2016, when I was starting, the ecosystem in India was largely concentrated Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore, which was tier 1 cities. 80% of the startup activities were happening there. But that was not stagnating. And that's the time when I realized that, we should take it to, different cities. Like China, today we are operating, like China, we also democratize around tier 2, tier 3 cities in India. Today we operate in 40 cities in India, and we are the one who educated around 10,000 people to invest in startups. And as a result, in last 4.5 years, we became in category of incubator angels network, one of the top 10 which was recently published by Crunchbase. So that's what we do. We develop startups. We invest in them in seed and early stage, and democratize the early stage ecosystem in India. That's what we do from Venture Catalyst. While 9 Unicorn is a company which we developed as an accelerator fund, modeled around like Y Combinator of US. But the offerings of the startups were tailor-made as per the requirements of the startups here. Yes, this is it's an accelerator fund. The mission is to identify 150 startups in the idea stage, develop them, and take it to the next level. So that's what the mission of 9 Unicorns.
That's awesome. And just so big audience listening here, and some of them are investors and some of them are also, so some are investors, some have startups of their own. So for these companies, just so that I'm clear and they're clear also, do you accept investments from outside of India, number one, or do you accept companies from outside of India, just so people have a feel for the companies?
Yeah, so startups in Venture Catalyst, they get investments from across the globe. More than 60 international funds have invested in our portfolio companies. That also includes Google, Alibaba, first investors in Facebook and, and Uber. Many of them, in fact, a lot of Chinese funds, a lot of US funds have invested in our portfolio companies. While the mandate of Venture Catalyst is largely to invest in Indian startups, but we accept startups from outside India also. As far as the 9 Unicorn is concerned, it's a global accelerator. We are inviting startups from all over the world, in the idea stage, and to develop them and also give them visibility of the next 24 months. So as far as the 9 unicorn is concerned, we are inviting startups from all over the world. So that's about it.
So let's talk a little bit more about some of the successes that you've had, because you've been quite successful on some of your portfolio companies. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So I think we were out of 120 investments which we have done in the last couple of years. The biggest FMCG success story of India, Beardo, which came to me from a tier 2 city, Ahmedabad, is our portfolio company. They are the leaders in the men's grooming space in India. They're like Dollar Shaving Club of US. Bharat Pay, which is a fintech company, it's also one of the biggest success story here in India. That's our portfolio company. In the past, Oyo, which is a Decathlon in India, that was also my incubated company, and we were the first investors in them. Likewise, we have the largest gifting company of India is our portfolio. IGP is one of the companies which is our portfolio company. Many category leaders, in fact, out of around 20-25 companies are really doing really well. So I'll say we are really lucky to have such portfolio where the companies are really leading the categories as well as different markets.
Tell us a little bit more about you. So you have a very unique vantage point. So you see things differently based on your firm, the success, and also your mission in changing how startups and how things are funded in India. And so you're really having a big effect on the overall startup ecosystem. Tell us a little bit more about the opportunity that you see in India.
So India is around 90,000 startup economy at the moment. We are growing at 25 to 30% growth rate. Today we have around 40 unicorns in India and roughly around 1,000 incubators here. The startup ecosystem is booming. In fact, we are on probably in next 10 years we will be a million startup economy.
Wow.
That's why there's a huge opportunity here. We are today about 300 semi-unicorn company, above $100 million companies also here. So all of these companies actually now we have reached an inflection point from here. The phenomenal growth is looking like. That's why a lot of international people and a lot of international funds are also investing significantly in India now. Of course, we are today the third largest after China and US economy, startup economy already. But because we are about 100, such a large population here, and today there are about 40 startup cities in India. Unlike when it was just 3 cities. Thanks to Geo, which is Geo is everybody knows now. They have taken bandwidth to every small city in India, and that's why today even in the smaller cities a lot of startups coming now, and that growth is actually enabling the growth of startup economy in India.
Fantastic. It's such so much opportunity, and what a great story. And I love to hear about the success. And I'm happy to have you on the show today, Dr. Apoorv. So if somebody is listening to this and they want to learn more about Venture Catalyst or 9 Unicorns or to follow your work overall, I mean, what's the best way for them to learn more?
I think we are very much approachable company. Founders are always very active on the LinkedIn. The 4 co-founders, one of them is a Stanford grad from US, Gaurav, Anuj, who started content, and Anil. All of us are very much approachable on our LinkedIns. As far as the company is concerned, we are strong in social media. Just Google Venture Catalyst in, you'll find a lot of things about us. So through social media, through emails, through everything, we are very much on Twitter, everywhere we are approachable. Just a message is enough for us to, revert to you guys.
Fantastic. Well, Dr. Apoorv, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great stuff that you're doing really to advance India's startup ecosystem. I mean, it's a big deal, and you're right, that market's booming, it's growing, and the startup ecosystem in particular, you said going to be 1 million. That's amazing. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I can't wait to have you back on the show the next time to have you to have more updates from you because there's exciting stuff happening. So thank you. To the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you. And don't forget, if you're listening for the first time, hit the subscribe button. Also, leave us some comments if you're watching on YouTube. Always love to connect with you there. And Dr. Apoorv, thank you for coming on the show again. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.